Hey, the Canucks are a great team. They had a hell of a year, a great future ahead of them. And here are 2 reasons why. Everybody, please say hello to Daniel and Henrik Sedin. Thank you. This city is crazy for hockey. It's so good. The Sedins are here. This city is crazy for your hockey team. Yeah. As I was saying, it must be so much fun to play here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, playing in Canada and in Vancouver especially, it's great fans and they know their hockey, that's for sure.
What I like about these fans, it's complicated, is that the moment things don't go well, though, they get on you. Like, Montreal Canadiens, you have to have 2.5 bad periods and they'll start booing you. You guys have 2 bad shifts and the fans get all testy. Does it feel that way when you're out? Like, do you guys notice what's happening out there?
Yeah, I mean, you know what's going on around you, but that's the way it is. I mean, they're there to watch us play good hockey, and I think that's the same everywhere you go, though.
How would you characterize the season?
Mostly good up until last week or two. I mean, that's the most important part of the year, and too bad we couldn't beat Chicago, but that's the way it is.
So much is made about you 2 guys playing together, and it's actually one of the great stories in the NHL that you've been able to do this for so long. When one of you goes out with an injury and one guy's left on the ice and not playing with your brother, what's that feeling like for both of you?
I get better.
Yeah, well, no.
No, it's tough for sure. I mean, everyone knows we like to play with each other. We've always done that since we're 12 years old.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and so it was tough. I mean, I think a lot of people thought it was going to go downhill, but it was a good test for me.
How do you feel?
It was tough watching too. I mean, I knew he would have a tough time, but he played really good. So it was actually pretty fun to watch. And
I know all hockey players, when they get close to an important accomplishment, they kind of downplay because it's a team thing for sure. But when a scoring title is in your reach, is this something that you really want?
Scoring title?
Yeah, like having just getting that. Especially because Ovechkin's a bit of a, he's great, but he's a bit of a loudmouth. And then Crosby is Crosby, but then he got to run. Do you know that that's coming? Yeah,
I mean they're 2 unbelievable players, and I mean I knew I had a chance, but to actually beat them was. I knew it was going to be tough, but it was a nice feeling when it was done. Is it something that you want? Like, are you going for it? Well, last game, yes. No, it's nothing to really think about. During the season, you don't really think about those things, but the closer it got, I mean, I was still up there. My teammates really tried to go out of their way to help me, so it was really nice.
Take me inside a dressing room when a team has a lot of expectations like you guys had. And, I mean, the playoffs, that first series was really exciting to watch, and people started to feel like the Canucks had some momentum and things were building, and it really was. The Habs had the early time slot, the Canucks had the late time slot out east, and Canadian teams looked really good on television. And then when you start to get a sense that Chicago's gaining, something's up here. In the dressing room, what's that like when you feel momentum shift?
I think in the playoffs it's a lot of up and down. It's you got to try to get momentum and keep that going. And I think against Chicago, they got the momentum and they kept going with it, and we couldn't get it back. So I think that was the frustrating part. But we have to remember too that Chicago is a great team. I mean, they're up 2-0 now against San Jose too. So it's a tough team to beat. But I think we have a good enough team right now to go a long way, so it was disappointing.
Back-to-back series between you and the Blackhawks, there's a hate-on now. And that's got to be exciting to have a team that you just really want to beat.
Yeah, it's always fun for sure. I mean, that's what we had with Colorado a couple years back, and seems like I have it every year against Calgary, so it's a lot of fun for sure.
I'm just curious, because I know the Twins thing gets played up a lot, but now that you've been in the league long enough, people just go the Sedin Twins. Have you ever messed with anybody on the ice, being twins?
Referees.
Yeah? What have you done?
Sometimes I get kicked out of a face-off, and I go out to Dan, and we do like a circle, and I go back in again.
Really? Does your coach know that you're doing this? Does the coach know what's going on?
I think the referees are figuring out now, though.
Yeah.
It worked once, but now it's not going too well. So
that's funny. So just grab your back, look at the number, and say you're out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it what I mean? I imagine other players too. Kyle Wellwood got caught on a penalty once because of that, didn't he?
Yeah, it happened a few times last year. I think Kyle was one of them, and it happened a couple more times too. So I don't know. We got to start wearing our numbers on the front, maybe.
It's that one of you guys is skating off, and he thinks it's the other guy, and thinks it's his job to take you, but you're not coming off.
Yeah, it was. We had a tough time there.
Kyle was new to the team too, so I think once they get to know us, I think they can tell us apart. And but I mean, our coaches have been here a lot of years, but they still struggle. So.
Obviously, next season is going to be a big one for you guys. The Vancouver Canucks now have pressure. You know, a couple of years ago, this team is exciting when Roberto Luongo came. You know, a couple of tough playoff series, some wins, some losses. Now people have these. You're going to be facing the expectations in a sense that the San Jose Sharks are facing right now. What kind of conversations do you have in the summer? Do you guys talk to Luongo? Do you guys all get together and say, we now have to find another gear?
Well, I think playing in Canada, there's always going to be pressure, and I think we showed the last couple of years that we are a good team, but we have to take the next step, and I think everyone in our locker room realizes that, and I think we're up for the challenge, so it should be interesting next year.
You and the goalie sit down and say, listen, here's what we need to do?
Before the season, I mean, we all know what we're there for. We're there to win, and in this era, after the salary cap was put in, I mean, you don't get too many chances to have this good of a team, so we're going to need to get on a run there next year or so.
What's your favorite part about becoming Vancouverites and being really the toast of the town?
The rain, I think.
You don't mean that.
No, it's, I think everything. I mean, just the city itself is unbelievable. I know the new guys coming here is they love the city, they love the people, and to be able to show it during the Olympics for our Swedish teammates too was a great experience.
They must have had a blast being here.
Well, it was sunny for 14 straight days, and I don't think it's happened while we've been here. So it was a good timing, that's for sure.
Nice. What's going to happen with the national program in Sweden? Because it's a team that should be better, right? You have a lot of really...
Yeah, I think in the Olympics, so I think it's a tough tournament to win. You need to be hard at the right time, and we were at the bottom line. So I think we got a lot of young players coming up. They're doing pretty good right now at the World Championships, so I think we should be fine for a lot of years.
Do you have to take on mentorship roles with young players?
I think it comes naturally. The longer you've been at a place, we've been here now for 9 years, and it's a lot of young guys are coming up now, and for the first 4 or 5 years, we were always the youngest guys, and so I think it comes natural when you've been here for a long time.
Nice. Daniel and Henrik Sedin, everybody. I appreciate it. May it lose their mind. It means a lot to us.